and religion. The findings of science imply that human beings are the product of impersonal forces, and that the habitable world forms a minute part of a universe of immense size and duration. Whatever the religious or philosophical beliefs of individual scientists, the whole program of scientific research is founded on the assumption that the universe can be understood on such a basis. Few would dispute that this program has been spectacularly successful, particularly in the 20th century, which saw such terrible events in human affairs. The influence of science may have indirectly contributed to these events, partly through the social changes triggered by the rise of industrial mass societies, and partly through the undermining of traditional belief systems. Nonetheless, it can be argued that such misery throughout human history could have been avoided by the application of reason, and that the disasters of the 20th century resulted from a failure to be rational, rather than a failure of rationality. The wise application of scientific understanding of the world in which we live is the only hope for the future of mankind. The study of evolution has revealed our intimate connections with the other species that inhabit the earth. If global catastrophe is to be avoided, these connections must be respected. The purpose of this audiobook is to introduce the general listener to some of the most important basic findings, concepts, and procedures of evolutionary biology, as it has developed since the first publications of Darwin and Wallace on the subject over 140 years ago. Evolution provides a set of unifying principles for the whole of biology. It also illuminates the relation of human beings to the universe and to each other. In addition, many aspects of evolution have practical importance. For instance, pressing medical problems are posed by the rapid evolution of resistance by bacteria to antibiotics and of HIV to antiviral drugs. In this book, we shall first introduce the main causal processes of evolution. Chapter 2. Chapter 3 provides some of the basic biological background and shows how the similarities between living creatures can be understood in terms of evolution. Chapter 4 describes the evidence for evolution derived from Earth history and from the patterns of geographical distribution of living species. Chapter 5 is concerned with the evolution of adaptations by natural selection, and Chapter 6 with the evolution of new species and of differences between species. In Chapter 7 we discuss some seemingly difficult problems for the theory of evolution. Chapter 8 provides a brief summary. Chapter 2. The processes of evolution. To understand life on Earth, we need to know how animals, including humans, plants, and microbes work, ultimately in terms of the molecular processes that underlie their functioning. This is the how question of biology. An enormous amount of research during the last century has produced spectacular progress towards answering this question. This effort has shown that even the simplest organism capable of independent existence, a bacterial cell, is a machine of great complexity, with thousands of different protein molecules that act in a coordinated fashion to fulfill the functions necessary for the cell to survive and to divide to produce two daughter cells. This complexity is even greater in higher organisms, such as a fly or human being. These start life as a single cell, formed by the fusion of an egg and a sperm. There is then a delicately controlled series of cell divisions, accompanied by the differentiation of the resulting cells into many distinct types. The process of development eventually produces the adult organism, with its highly organized structure made up of different tissues and organs, and its capacity for elaborate behavior. Our understanding